Hi, and welcome to Black Country Blitz PC Gaming. Right, I thought for a change that we would jump into Train Simulator Classic. As you will see, I've got quite a few trains, especially in the career mode, that we haven't even probably drove yet. So I'm going to pick a train that is no longer in service. Let me find it, and it is the Intercity Class 370 APT/P, which stands for Advanced Passenger Train, and this was a pre-type. Yep. So if we hit that, so it's West Coast mainland over Shap. So we've got 3 scenarios, and we're going to do this one, the morning one. Then I think say, oh, hold on. There's a nighttime one, or a snowy one, which we don't really want. Or we have this one where it's a morning run, so we'll do the morning run. Now, what makes this train so special is it tilts a bit like the Pandolina, but it was the fastest train that we had in the UK back in the 80s. The only reason it wasn't actually finished is because Margaret Thatcher pulled the funding and they had to rush it. It was in service for about just over 12 months and then it was scrapped. It's a really nice train to drive, as you'll see. So without further ado, let's get in and let's get driving. Now, as you can see from the start, we are actually stopping at the stations. We're stopping at Preston, and that's it. So we've got to meet these other times. We've been driving through them, but we're not actually stopping. So let's hit that. Now, it's come to an emergency stop. The light's on green for me. I've now got to take this train and put it in I'll put the key in first, won't it? Now, if you've never seen Train Sim Classic, it ain't got all the bells and whistles as Train Sim World 5, but it's playable, right? So as we wait to build up this pressure now, we've got all bells and whistles going off. So this is the letter E, this is the letter Q for that one, the horn, the emergency stop, the window wipers. We're waiting for certain things to change colour, and I think we're good to go. Hope if I put it into forward. So we've got a outer speed of 55 miles an hour as we pull away. Now, it don't take very much for this train to reach high speeds, as you will see. So just want to get it to 20 miles an hour. Now we have got signs along the way to blow our horn. AWS. I kicked in just yet. That was a sign for AWS. I think it stands for Advanced Warning System. Could be. I might be wrong. Anyway, stick some lights on. So we got our first timeless bonus. So as you can see, we're coming up to a 100 mph speed limit. So as soon as we're through with all our trailers, whatever them called, trucks, we can then whop the speed up to 100 mph. So all the other lights are on green, red, sorry, ours is on green. Now I've already done this scenario, got to the end, got to somewhere where all them lights like that, thought mine was on green, went through it, and of course, goodbye, end of scenario. So hence why I've had to come back and redo it. And again, I enjoy doing it anyway, so, you know, why not? But I'll know when I get to the end not to go through the red light and wait for the signal to change. So I'm just now waiting to go through. Now, compare this with Train Sim World 5, this though I'll no prisoners. And what I mean by that, hold on, is AWS. Right, it's arming it now. Yep, so that might come on and show in this dashboard in a minute. As a maximum, there you go. So 20 mph speed at the moment, which will change to 100 as soon as you go through the carriages. Now, what I was saying, yeah, you don't get no prisoners with this version of trains. If you do something wrong, you get penalised straight away. And here is the score. So if I do something wrong, they take that off my score. Right, that's the green light for me to wang up the power. Now on this, you could turn on all the warning sounds, them on from the start. In Train Sim World 5, you have the choice. A lot of people probably don't even realise that you can actually turn things on, you know, like warning systems. They ain't got a clue because they're turned off by default, right? Which again, for me, that don't help me play better with the what you call it, the simulator, yeah. So okay, and Train Sim Classic ain't got all that stuttering. You know what I mean? So that's a bonus as well. Because with Train Sim World 5, as much as it's nice and you can do all this and whatever, it stutters like anything. And these routes, believe it or not, on Classic, seem a lot longer for your money. Right, here's the whistle. So I've blown my whistle. Don't know how long I've got to blow it for, it don't say. So we're coming up now to an 125 mph speed limit. Don't want to go through just yet. Start getting points took off me at an early stage. Now, we should be arriving at our next destination, but roughly by 18 minutes past 9. So it's now 10 past 9 in game. We're doing 117 and climbing in speed. So I'm going to get to about 124 and then come off the power. See which one where we can hold it. So notch 4, we'll go down to notch 3. Now this has a record of 153 mile an hour back in the day. So we're just coming up for a 155 speed board. See how it's tilting? As I said, very much like the Pendolina. Annie, this was way before the Pendolina. Now, I don't realise I got that Pendolino in Classic. I've just, see what I mean? Just over by a tiny little bit, and it's took 4 points off me. Yep. So we'll concentrate it. Now, most of this journey is at high speed. I just wished this was in virtual reality. It would be so nice. So I'm trying to get to about 153 and see if I can hold the speed. Now we do get a lot of other trains coming from the other direction, which is absolutely fantastic. It makes a simulator when you're seeing other trains. So can we take it to notch 5? Because I don't want to overspeed and get penalised. That goes up to 154, then I'm going to come down a notch. Now I'm doing the fastest speed at the moment, what it did in the real world. Yeah, 150, notch 4 is making me go up. So we keep it at notch 4. Like I said, this train was only a prototype. Now, if Conservatives, Maggie Thatcher, had probably kept the funding going, probably this train or a train like it could have been in service today. But again, that's politics for you. So it's a good thing we can actually drive trains that are no longer in service. Now, I've actually looked up this train and looking at the cab, if I bring this down a bit, all this is exactly the same as the real deal. Exactly. So it just shows even in an older version of trains, because this is made by Dovetail as well as Train Sim World. That's another one, which is the new one, of course. The detail is spot on. It's just we do all the dials, you know, where in the Train Sim World version you can do almost all the dials, where this one you call. But to me, it don't make no difference. As long as I can do certain ones or I need to do, I'm happy. Anyway, we take that back up. So we're still on schedule for 17 minutes past 9. Keeping it in the 150 mile an hour speed range. Oh. I don't know. Now we've got a 95 mile an hour speed coming up, so I've got to get this train down to 95 mile an hour very, very quickly, otherwise I'm going to be losing points. Come on, needs to come down and very, very quickly. Come on, just about to gonna do it. That'll do me. I don't think I was going to achieve that then. Thought, here we go. Messed it up again. Now this is how it is all the way through the journey. It getting faster, slower, faster, slower. I'm speeding. Get down. That's took another 8 off me, but I've just gained another 140 odd, so. Right, should be coming up to 125 mile an hour very shortly. Nearly got up for speed in them. I was lucky the train speed went down. Come on. Let's get you through that 125 mile an hour. Here goes my own. Right, then, there we go again. Now this is supposed to be one of the most detailed runs on Train Sim World Classic. So I wouldn't know because I done half of them. As I had a look this morning, I thought, you know what, I'm going to be putting some streams out of Classic as well as Train Sim World. It really does go around these bends pretty quickly. Whoa. Alright, I ain't too sure whether this would vibrate if I was using my controller. I know it does Train Sim World 5 now. You've got a little bit of immersion. Right, so we're going down to 100. But I'm sure Classic had it from the start. So I wouldn't know at the moment because I'm using my keyboard. It's just as easy to use a keyboard and a mouse when doing this sim. Right, we need to get... Oh. It always catches my eye, that. Right then. 1, 2, bump, and there's the speed. Once I got down better. 95 mile an hour. Down to 92. I'll have some of that. I'll leave it on notch 2. See if it can hold. No, so notch 3. I think that'll just put up, yeah, so put it on notch 2 for the time being. We won't stop at 95 mile an hour for very long. Still got 10 miles to travel, 9:28 to reach our destination. Let's stick my panel lights on. Better. Might as well have the lights on. Come 125 mile an hour. Now it does say there maximum speed 125 mile an hour, but that ain't true, is it? If I was doing 153, so it can go a lot faster than the actual says. Now I don't know what that says. Oh, it needs my speed. I don't know what it says in that yellow one. There's a speed limit and then there's a yellow one. But of course, going at these lovely speeds, you cannot read what it says. Try and, well, I don't want to stop the sim. And we're close to these rocks. Notch 4 should hold it, I hope. Notch 1, that should definitely hold it. Right, we've got to get down to 80 mile an hour. Can we do it? That's the question. And we should be able to. Just about. No danger. As we slowly build our speed back up to 80 mile an hour, as we then put it in full belt for 150. some more points added to my score. At 255-mile-an-hour speed limit now. Soon adds up. Why am I dropping? Dropping then, I don't know what the reason why. That's better. Got my speed up and I've got to bang it down to 95. I was expecting to have a whistle sign coming round this corner, but I got a speed limit instead. Now that's another thing with Classic over Train Sim World. You can actually hear the other trains pass you, which on the newer version of this, you can hardly hear some of the trains go past you. Whether their cabs are more soundproofed, don't know, could be. But to me, it don't feel like you're in a train. You could hear the trains passing by. Anyway, up to 110. Now with both games, I tried to get as much of the UK covered. I think I've got it all between saying Classic, except for the steam trains. I wore that interest in her, so I buy them, and the same in Train Sim World. I don't think I own one steam train. And I do like the American trains as well. I've got quite a few in this, which I got in Train Sim World 5. They haven't been done yet, and I doubt they'll ever be done. So I'll be covering them via this. So we am roughly doing a minute a mile. We've got 3 miles left to do, and I'm only at 9:37. Yeah, it's just short of that. Come on, now take me points off me. Told ya, I was no prisoners. The minute you go over speed, the minute you start taking your points away. That's what I love about Classic. It's more a simulator out of the two of them. You learn to drive the trains more better. Also, keep your eye on the speed, the signals. And like I said, don't do what I did and run a red light, because it's game over. So if you've been sitting there like 60 minutes like I was earlier on, and for it to be like, yeah, see ya, ta-ra, I was gutted. But again, that's the game. And I should not have rid a red light. Or run a red light, as they say. Right then, let's try and see if I can get it up. 209. And it should be roughly give me another 100 some odd points now. As I go through here, over speed, better. Yep, it's giving me another 144. So I must be on time. That's what it's giving me. Right, here we go. Let's get her up to 160, 155, 125. I think this will go to 150 in a minute. My memory says me well. It's a lovely train to drive. Go 140 mile an hour speed limit. Now this is taking me to places in the UK that I've never even heard of, probably never ever go to, but again, say I've been to them in a simulator. That's another thing I do. You know, just go to a station and have a look what the station looks like compared to how they've modelled it. And they do a really, really good job with the models of the stations in this. I like it when there's other trains on the other track coming towards you. It's like they did my local station, which is Birmingham International, and there's no trains going through it. It's one of the main busiest train stations in the UK, but no, there's no trains there when you get there, and it's just so authentic enough for me. And that's in Train Team Well 5. Well, come out in Train Team Well 4, but you know, you've got to make it authentic, and they struggle sometimes. Dovetail. And then in other times they nail it, so I don't know. They nail it on the classic every time. Anyway, here we go. It's another one. Right one. I used to live by a railway when I was a kid. And I used to watch freight trains all day long from my bedroom window. Till, of course, they stopped doing. But probably some of them trains now, especially the freight ones, I've actually seen in real life when I was a child. I know the bigger kids used to jump on the back of them and take a free ride. Just jump off when they got closer to their house on the railway. It were no fast trains, it was just cargo trains that did them. Again, you still could get out, like, but there's no passenger trains. But the train lines have long gone, and still the path's still there. Snow trains and no track. And if you day live in that area, you'd probably never realise that there was a train station that run through there. Doing a lot of bending. I've never heard of Carlisle North Junction up Main. Never even heard of it. Unless I googled it. Another 144. Bump up my points. Oh, I thought I was speeding them. It's 155 I'll get to. Lancaster, platform 4. Where's Lancaster? All going off. so all them warning signs, just so now that I've acknowledged everything. Pulling into Lancaster. Get another 100. Oh, 141 this time. It's green for me, not having to look then. I was thinking, is that goo for, is the lights goo or stop? Because I don't want to be doing that mistake again, like I did earlier on. Come on, change. Gotta wait till that last carriage is through. Now it'll change now. Come on then. So we've got 20 more to do as we bring it into Preston. Platform 4B. And that is at 10:02. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Another thing I forgot to mention, this is how we get thrown about. So if I was to put the brakes on very like sharp, that would jolt the train forward and vice versa. Yeah, and we get penalised on just how well we drive the train. Of course, I'm driving pretty smooth at the moment, so I am making that many jolting movements. But that's something else that you don't get in Train Sim World 5. So, you know, on some of the trains, you can put your brakes on and that'll go like over here or completely over there. Whether the way this train's designed with the tilting and that stopping from that happening, it might be, I don't know. Because that told me seemed to be moving like it would normally. That would be moving side to side if I was in any other train. So that might be a feature of this Class 370. Anyway, back up to 155. Put my foot down now, just take notice of any whistle signs, red lights, and hopefully get this train and its passengers off at Preston. That's the only thing between me and Preston now is the red lights. I'll show you, well, you'll see them. You'll see me slow right down this time round. The core missing. And it's terrible, I want to go to the toilet, so I've got to finish this course, stop it halfway through. I'm going to try to and get driver gets on if he wants a wet while he's on duty. Because I've got 15 miles now before I can have a wee. I don't know. 10:01. And I'm hoping we stay at 150. I can't remember. I braked my speed right down. I'm not sure. Whistle. I want to slow down just, Jim. Come on. I think we could be getting close to these lights now. just round this corner. If I've got to stop for red lights, I'm going to try and see if I can have a wee. I've got to. I'm busting out. Yep, here's all the red lights, look. So I went all cascading through the last time. Right, I'm going to go and have me a quick wait. Sorry about that, folks. When nature calls, you have to go. Right, so we've got to put all this train into neutral. Need a couple of seconds. Plus gear. And away we go. All that for that little amount. But at least that day I overshoot the red light like last time. So that's a bonus. And there we am. Preston platform, Preston station. Few trains in already. Platform 4B. And the Intercity 370 end of service. Now whether Preston looks like this, I wouldn't know. I've never been to Preston. But I'm going to have a look online and see what photos we can find of anybody or any other train driving into Preston. Back over for me. I really hope that red light out for me. It is on. Nah. What I need to do, would it? And if I'd have gone through that signal, it'd have been all over. Down the floor, I did. I got the whole platform, so I'm happy. Ooh. I wouldn't have been happy going through that signal though. Because that's where I was gonna drive through it. Thinking, it's that one that's stopping me, but it's that one. Sometimes get stuck on which signal, so that one's for that track, that one's for that one. And that would stop me from going across. The moral of the story, I will never make train drive. Screwdriver, but not train drive. Well, that's funny, I've got another driver, but when I look, he's disappeared, look. Just wrong that. We have it. Good job, driver. I see. Jobs are good. Now let's just see how well we have done. So we got a score 980. That ain't too bad. On time, little penalty there. Speeding. Oh, that ain't too bad to say that was my second run anyway. As we say it in the Black Country, I hope you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, and give us a follow, because we do stream different games through the week at different times of the day. So, sure to catch me on the next one. Till then, ta-ra a bit.